Hello and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about the app Wanderlust and the process that I went through to research what potential users of this app will want. The goal of Wanderlust is for the app to be a place where local tour guides can advertise their services and build their touring resume. Users will be able to log in, create, and update their trips with important information. Potential customers can find their perfect tour guide and even create an account to keep track of tours they've been on. To begin thinking about what this app can provide versus what the user wants, I created a list of assumptions that can be made based on the information provided in the product brief. I learned that there are a lot of things to consider for the consumer and the provider when going forward with this project. The same assumptions can be made for both, but their feelings about them may be very different depending on which side of the transaction they are on. I created a chart to order the assumptions by their level of risk and by how confident we are about knowing this is something the user wants. I learned that there are definitely some unknowns about whether or not the consumer even wants or cares about certain features. Spending time and money creating features that the consumer doesn't care about and won't use would be a huge risk. I also have to consider which services the guide cares about providing. They may have reasons for not wanting certain interactions with their clients before and after the tour. I definitely want to look into these things more and plan to do that within my interview and surveys. I then sorted these assumptions into different research categories: survey questions, contextual inquiry, analytics, and interview questions. As you can see, most of the assumptions fell under the survey and interview categories. This exercise guided me toward those research methods for this project. The goal is to gain a better understanding about how the provider and consumer feel about these features. This will enable us to know whether or not they should be included in our MVP, and if they are, how the user will prefer they be presented. I interviewed 3 people. I knew I needed to get the perspective of potential users of both sides of the app, so I interviewed 2 tour guides and 1 frequent tour customer. I gained a lot of insight into what each side cares about when they use an app to advertise or seek services. Here are some interesting statistics that we got from our survey. The average age of our participants was 33 years old. 53% of participants travel 1 to 2 times per year. 69% of participants have never hired a tour guide or tour company. TripAdvisor and Google are the most common ways that participants find tours online. 46% of participants do not wish to contact their guide before or after a tour. 42% of participants prefer to buy tickets ahead. 30% prefer to do this online. All participants expressed they prefer to see a map of the tour beforehand. 61% of participants like to share pictures of tours that they go on. And 69% of participants like to see pictures that others have taken while choosing a tour. Based on what I learned from the interviews and survey, I created a persona for both types of users that our app hopes to attract. Keeping these hypothetical users in mind going forward will help us create a product that they will find useful and enjoyable. I wanted to dig deeper into our competition to see where they succeed and fail from a design standpoint. I used Jacob Nielsen's 10 usability heuristics for user interface design to determine the pitfalls of websites and apps similar to ours. These will be mistakes that we want to avoid when designing our product. I used all of the data that I collected from the interviews, surveys, personas, and heuristics evaluation to imagine how my user would discover Wanderlust and how they would feel going through the basic process of signing up, searching for a tour to go on, booking the tour, and then attending the tour. We tend to choose the most known and popular app on the market. In order for our app to stand out, it will need to be very attractive and professional looking. Our users care about reputation, so good reviews will be important to them. Most of the users that we surveyed and interviewed gravitate toward the most popular competition. We could include reminders to leave an app review throughout the app so the user doesn't forget to leave a review in the App Store. We should be careful not to include this pop-up too many times, as it can annoy people. A better review rank in the App Store will put us at the top of the list with our #1 competitor. They may also be reluctant to provide an email address out of fear of getting spammed. Offering a way for our users to sign up quickly with social media could be a convenient option for them. Users who are differently abled are limited in the types of tours that they can take. While we offer ways to filter tours by type, duration, and price, we should also offer a way for users to sort by tours that are accessibility friendly. A number of our surveyed users were older and may appreciate being able to filter choices that way. A majority of the users that we interviewed and surveyed expressed that they often purchase tickets for things in advance. People who plan like to know that their activity for the day will be set in stone. This will also help guides because they will have a better idea of how many people will be on their tour. If they have a limit, a user who likes to go with the flow will know ahead of time if that limit has been met, and they won't waste their time showing up to buy tickets. As an alternative, we can offer them a way to check into the tour on a map when they arrive. If they aren't in the right place, they can consult with the map. Alternatively, the guide will be able to see that a person has checked in, but they aren't accounted for. There may be common places consumers accidentally go to nearby, and the guide can glance over and flag them down if they're aware that they're missing someone that is waiting for the tour to begin. I made 5 user flows for our product. I used the information that I gathered from my journey map and heuristics evaluation to create them. This information helped me better imagine what the user's experience may be like as they navigate the app. What would be convenient and easy for them? What would frustrate them? It is important to think about each tiny step in every interaction that the user may have with the product in order to prevent errors or an unnecessary mental load on the user. We'll be able to use this information to design a product that the user will find convenient and enjoyable to use. Thank you so much for your time. I'd love to answer any questions that you have.